All right, welcome everyone to our next installment of Mind Your Own Business, where we're going to hear from my beautiful wife, Erin Oksol, and I'll do a quick introduction of her for those of you who may not have attended one of these before. So, Dr. Erin Oksol is an award-winning high-performance mentor, psychologist, seven-time best-selling author, and top global leader in a health and wellness company. She has taken the world by storm with her high-energy events and science-backed business coaching, working with companies including Microsoft and Facebook. She's been awarded Nevada's Professional Saleswoman of the Year and Nevada's Top 20 Most Powerful Women. Dr. Erin was named one of the 125 leaders globally to follow in the 2022 Global or Success Magazine. And she lives in Reno, Nevada with her husband, myself, Garth, and her three children. Take it away, honey.
Well, thank you. My highest achievement is our marriage. And this year we are celebrating our 25th. And we've got big things planned. We've got a vow renewal planned on the beach in Cabo. OMG, honey. OMG. Okay, so welcome everyone to Mind Your Own Business. I'm so happy you're here. We've got 3 more calls after this. So we're going to do the next 3 Sundays. On the last one, December 29th, we are going to really have a workshop masterclass for setting our intentions for making 2025 a masterpiece. Okay. I am leading you through one of, if not my most favorite masterclasses I ever did, which was called The Homecoming. And it's all about coming home to yourself, to your highest self, but it's really tied up with setting your priorities, your intentions, your goals for the next year. So please invite all of your friends. It's going to be the most powerful kind of, like I said, and a really different way of looking at how do I create a year that is the year that everything changed, you know? I always say, not new year, new you, new year, more you. It's like new year, more you. Do you feel that? It's not new year, new year, new you, new year, better you. No, just more of you. So, every week in Mind Your Own Business, if people share it, they have an opportunity to win one of my 2 books. Your name goes into a raffle. So it's Mind Your Own Business, 21 Days to Train Your Brain to Create Unstoppable Success, and Oh, How Human of Me journal. And let me share on the screen because we always want to edify the people that are sharing. And several of you shared last week, so thank you. I know Maddie was one, and I appreciate it so much. But last week, Terry Norgrove won the raffle, and she is a dream builder. A family is very important to her. She's a travelpreneur, health and wellness, and problem solver. We have a daughter, Grace, who's 22, and she's like, how do I get paid to solve problems? I'm like, you would be a great professional problem solver. She goes, yeah, I just solve everyone's problems. And I'm like, well, Terry Norgrove's figured it out too, I guess. So thank you, Terry. I was also thinking because Bobby Hollowell shared today the call. And so if you ever want to share before the call to, announce to people and invite them, that will get you into the raffle as well. So again, if it feels aligned for you to share, please do. It means the world to me because my mission is to set the captives free. And I could use your help in finding the humans. So, okay. This week, we are going to talk about what is one of my most favorite concepts, and it's called the law of the slight edge. Has anyone ever read the book by Jeff Olson? This book, The Slight Edge? Put a yes if you have. Okay. And if you have, we're going to deep dive into it, into the law of the slight edge, and we're going to talk about how this can grow your business. And how it really is the secret that the ultra successful, happy people have. Ooh, who's saying yes? ZU, Zoom user. Okay. Love it. All right. So let me tee this up. The law of the slight edge really talks about how the small, seemingly insignificant decisions and behaviors that we make lead up to either massive success or massive not success. Okay. And I think if I look back on my life, and I want you to think about where in your life did small behaviors done enough times over a long enough period of time lead to a special result, a very, pivotal result for you. Probably 10 years ago is when I started my personal growth transformation. I had always been into, of course, psychology and personal development, but Garth and I at that time were consultants for Arbonne, which is a health and wellness business. And we were coaching people how to be healthy. And I was noticing that I was living out of integrity because I was coaching people through these programs and I would eat an Oreo quite frequently. Now, I am not saying eating an Oreo is a problem. I'm saying if I'm eating Oreos every single day, to me, that impacted my sense of integrity of am I being who I want to be? So I got myself to the gym. And that was the first time I really went to the gym. And I started working out. And then I met these two ladies and they're like, "Do you want to work out in a group with this personal trainer?" I was like, "Yes, that sounds fun." So we hire a personal trainer. And a couple weeks in, one of the ladies says, "Erin, do you want to do a fitness competition with me?" And I'm like, what is that? I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, "Well, the kind where you get in like a itsy bitsy teeny weeny rhinestone turquoise string bikini." And I was like, no, I do not want to do that. I am here to stop eating Oreos. Well, it became really fun. And a year later, we competed and I ended up winning a trophy. I have an action figure in the house to prove it. Okay. So I officially became a bodybuilder, right? And an award-winning bodybuilder, and Garth says his trophy wife. Ha ha ha. Okay. So that journey was my real first introduction to the law of the slight edge, probably after as well as being in graduate school, getting a PhD, right? You don't reach massive success all at once. It's little behaviors done enough time over a long enough period of time. So 13 years of higher education, me studying for all of those tests one at a time, eventually ended in a PhD, right? Me making seemingly insignificant decisions over a long enough period of time led to me having a physique where I could get on stage in a bodybuilding competition and win a medal. Okay. So I want to read to you the law of the slight edge. I want you to think about how it's going to pertain to you. And then we're going to explore a couple other really cool concepts related to it. So if you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. But if you want to just listen. But I'm going to read this to you. Soak in the words. Okay. Okay. The simple things that lead to success are all easy to do, but they're also just as easy not to do. It's easy to save a few bucks a day and easy not to. It's easy to do 15 minutes of cardio a day, walk a brisk mile or two, truly easy to do or not. Fundamentally, we all pretty much take the same actions every day. We eat, sleep, think, feel, talk, listen. We have relationships and friendships. We each have 24 hours a day, 168 hours a week, and we each fill these hours one way or the other with a sequence of mundane little actions and tasks. The successful and unsuccessful both do the basic same things in their lives, day in and day out. Yet, the things successful people do take them to the top, while the things unsuccessful people do take them down and out. So what's the difference? The difference is their awareness, understanding, and application of the slight edge in their life and work. Successful winners understand the power of the slight edge. Unsuccessful people do not. Everything you need to do to transform your life is easy to do. It's easy to become healthy, fit, and vibrant. It's easy to become financially independent. It's easy to have a happy family and a life rich with meaningful friendships. It's just a matter of mastering the mundane, of repeating simple little disciplines that done consistently over time will add up to the very biggest accomplishments. Of course, It's just as easy not to do. But that simple, seemingly insignificant error in judgment, compounded over time, will ruin your chances for success. You can count on it. That's the choice you face every day, every hour. A simple positive action repeated over time, a simple error in judgment repeated over time. So easy to do, so easy not to do. That, my friends, is the law of the slight edge. As you think about what are those behaviors that are easy to do and also easy not to do that would make the difference, I'm not interested in just making you busy doing things. If you have ever heard my work or worked with me, you understand I have a very unique definition of productivity, and I want you to think of how this applies to you. I want you to write on your piece of paper 3 buckets. So just draw 3 buckets. And generally speaking, let's talk about your business as an example. Generally speaking, successful people will focus on 3 buckets of behaviors. And here's the definition of productivity that I want us to adopt. Because productivity is not at all about how many hours you're working. Productivity is this. Productivity is a measure of how well am I moving the needle on what matters most. I'll say it again. Productivity is a matter of how well am I moving the needle on what matters most. So by the end of today, you will understand, is it really possible to have it all? And how do the people that have it all get it all? And then how do they not only get it all, but hold it all? Okay. So open up the chat room, everyone. I want you to first answer, how many things do you do that bring in an income for you? Another way could be how many jobs, how many businesses, but really how many different things do you do that brings in income for you? Some of you might just be one. Some of you might be multiple things. Maddie has 2, Alan 3. Linda has 2. Okay. I want you to hold this number and I want you to add to this. Okay, Bobby, 2. I want you to add to this number. So if any of these apply, add 1 to this number and we're going to share our added up numbers at the end, okay? Our totals at the end, okay? How many of you are a parent and would like to have a world-class relationship with your children? Give yourself a 1. How many of you have a relationship with the family members? You're a daughter, you're a sister, brother, and you would like world-class relationships in your family. So unless you're not talking to anyone in your family, you would probably put a 1 there, right? How many of you have a significant other intimate relationship, dating someone that you do life with, that you would like a world-class relationship? Give yourself a 1. How many of you are wanting and tending to having world-class friendships? Give yourself a 1. How many of you are interested in having a world-class relationship with your higher power, your higher self? I call that spirituality. Give yourself a 1 if that's something you desire. How many of you would like a world-class relationship with your health and wellness? Give yourself a 1. You're playing the role there of taking care of your body. And then how many of you would like to have a world-class relationship with your philanthropy, giving, charity work? Give yourself a 1. I want you now to add up all your numbers and put those in the chat, please. 10. Oh my gosh. What? Garth Oksol, 847. Oh,
I may have lost count of what you were having us track.
oh my God. Okay, you dork. Bobby, 9. Steve, 8. Maddie, okay, you're probably 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 40. Okay, you're like, it's 84. Okay, it's 84.
I
Linda,
was with
9.
Garth. I'm like, okay, one
Maddie,
here, one here.
I know. Okay, I bet you were like a 10. Okay, okay. This is really, really true for everyone on this call because everyone has even more than one business or thing that they're doing for income. Have you ever thought or heard someone you're working with say, like, I'm the kind of person that wants to be all in. I'm an all or nothing. If I'm doing something, I want to give it 100%. Has anyone, or have you heard anyone say that? You know, and you're like, well, I don't know if you've realized, but you actually are doing 10 things in your life, right? So you all just determined you're already doing 8, 9, or 10 things in terms of your roles in your life. You want to be world class in every single one of those areas. So really you have 8, 9, 10, 847 jobs, okay? And you're wanting to be all in all of those. And so if we cannot create and magically expand time, how is it then that people truly do create a life where they have it all? They figure out how to apply the law of the slight edge to all that they're doing. They figure out how to time manage, and then they figure out how to be wherever they are. Okay. So let's go back to the 3 buckets for your business. Generally speaking, one bucket that we all need is marketing. Some of us might even put networking in terms of that bucket, but generally speaking, all business owners need marketing bucket, right? Generally speaking, we all need sales. We all need a sales bucket. Marketing is not sales. Sales is not marketing. And then the third bucket, that might be different for all of us. Generally speaking, that might be networking. It might be personal development. It might be content creation. It might be, but really, if you're asking yourself, what are the buckets that are going to move the needle on my business the most? Those 3 buckets need to be identified. And really in 2025, I really want you to think of what are my 3 buckets. So let's share our buckets with everyone here so that people can get ideas and decide if they want 4 buckets, if they want 3, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. And sometimes the buckets of behavior are different depending on what stage of business you are in. So Tony Robbins doesn't have to go and network anymore. Do you see? Do you see what I'm saying? Like he doesn't have to go and eat chickens with strangers. But at the beginning of your journey, sometimes that moves the needle the most. So, okay, marketing, personal growth, and networking. Love it. But we do need sales, Bobby. You need sales in there. Sales is talking to the humans. So add in sales or take one away. Okay, good. Okay. I'm not letting you all out of sales. You're like, I will do all the things, but because sales moves the needle on what matters most. Sales is what moves the needle the most on any business. Okay. So I could be sitting home drawing canvas all day, which would be so fun for Erin. Or I could go knocking on doors of gyms and say, would you like to be the first to market to bring precision peptides to your members? Yes, that would move the needle more. That would be me being more productive. Do you see? Marketing is necessary, but not sufficient. Okay, marketing, personal growth, sales. Love it, Linda. Beautiful. Are there any other categories anyone's thinking of? My 3 buckets: networking, see the humans, be a relationship builder, serve the humans, ask great questions, make more sales. Yes. So Maddie's really good at, she's
You
always,
said that last week.
well, Maddie, you are a good student, but Maddie's really good at selling no matter where she is. And so she brings that with her. There is no demarcation in Maddie of, am I selling? Am I not selling? She's just, as far as I see it, it's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Awesome. Alan, do you have yours? Do you have any questions? Are you good? Okay, great. Okay, so now let's think of how do we apply the law of the slight edge to those buckets? Let's think of what would be the behaviors in the buckets and what is easy to do, easy not to do. I'll go first. Messaging someone on Messenger with my voice and responding to a comment they made about my product. That's easy to do, easy not to do. Now, some of you might say, well, that's scary. Well, it's still easy to do, easy not to do. Scary is a different situation, and you've got to work your way out of that fear, right? It's easy to go to a luncheon, and it's easy not to go to a luncheon. It's easy to go to a holiday party. It's easy not to go to a holiday party. Okay. It's easy to post every day. It's easy not to post every day. I've been posting every day for 12 years. Okay. It's easy to do, easy not to do. But it makes a huge difference. We've grown the biggest team we ever have, and I have yet to prospect anyone. That's the power of the law of the slight edge. Who has examples? What's easy to do, easy not to do for your business? Yeah, prospecting. Just sending the same message to lots of people. It's easy to do. It's easy to do 5 of those a day, and it's easy not to do 5 of those a day. It's easy to eat an Oreo. It's easy not to eat an Oreo. Yep. It's easy to make a phone call. It's easy not to make a phone call. Good. So it's like you probably knew this before I told you this, or the law of the slight edge was brought to you. And so it's not even a matter of like, why don't I just do it? Why don't I just do it? I mean, it is a matter of that. But I really want you to sink into why don't you do that? And one of the things I think that gets in our way is we tell ourselves a lie that it really doesn't matter. Like, because it's so simple to do and easy not to do that we're like, I cannot do it today. And so what if instead you believed that the law of the slight edge was true and you tied everything you do to that thing that moves the needle? So this is how I utilize and practice that strategy so that things actually have meaning for me. And I think it's the thing that causes me to have such faithfulness to my dream. Every time I go on a coffee date, every time I send someone a message, every time I follow up, every sale I make, every session of clients that I see, I'm telling myself, look at me growing my empire. Look at me setting the captives free. Look at me. Look at me building my business. I know that it matters. And so I no longer believe the lie that it doesn't. And I think because we sometimes don't see the direct result of what we're wanting, we disqualify it. But that's not how it works. Ed Milet, I was in Ed Milet's beautiful mastermind a couple of years ago. And he said this, he said, oh my God, it was so amazing. He said, nothing we do results in nothing. Everything results in something. And when you do the right thing enough times, you can have everything. You have influence when you're at the holiday party, and you have influence when you're not at the holiday party. You have influence when you're on a Zoom like this, and you influence when you're not on a Zoom like this. Doing a Zoom like this is easy for me to do, easy not for me to do. You have influence whether you go or not. You're influencing your business, whether you make the call or you don't make the call. It's the law of the slight edge. And so when you look at anything great you've done in your life, who has an example they're willing to share? Something great they did that was kind of, a big deal, but they did it by doing these small, insignificant behaviors over a long enough period of time.
I can share
Alan,
if we don't
yeah,
have a
go
volunteer.
ahead,
Okay,
Maddie.
good. Alan.
What, Maddie? I didn't hear you. Sorry.
I said Alan go first.
Oh, go ahead, Maddie. Ladies first.
Oh, well, thank you. Um, so launching my financial planning practice had a lot of no's for the first 3 months. I started training beginning of September, got to October, November. Erin and Garth don't even know I'm this new. And surprise. And so my full-time contract turned on September 30th. And it took going to initial events and being rejected initially by people in September to then rally in October to then build in November to now I'm closing my first round of clients in December. And seeing that the consistency of showing up every day to prospect, whether that was networking, whether that was reach outs on social media, just building my follow base, commenting on people's things organically, posting my own content. So I lived in the back of their head and then always posting where I was in the community. It took off. I met, for those of you, Erin, may I share our story, not in
Yes.
depth? So I met Erin at a networking event in September where she was our guest speaker. And I chose to follow up, setting an appointment with her initially in October, which we then circled back and brought Garth in November. And now we've taken a step together in December. And so knowing that the sales process won't look the same with everyone, but that if you do those small things every day, it happens.
It's inevitable. I want you to
It's
write that down.
inevitable.
It's inevitable. No one here is greater than the laws of the universe. I'm sorry, but you're not. They are greater than you. And if you do what successful people do long enough, it is inevitable. And it's not that I have not been frustrated along my journey or disappointed or impatient or grief stricken at times that it wasn't happening the way I wanted it to. But I have never wondered, like, is it going to happen? I'm like, of course it's going to happen. How can it not happen if I keep doing what successful people do? And then it happened. The law of the slight edge, let me also say, and this is coming from a psychologist who gets paid to help people think and talk about how you think. Most of the needle that you're moving is going to be through your actions. Write this down on your notes. I am a person of action. I move swiftly. Okay? I am a person of action. I move swiftly. Seth Godin is the number one marketer in the world, like most would say. He definitely is the number one blogger in the world. He has blogged every single day. He's written an email to his network for probably now 22 years. And he's the one that joked, Garth, half of his emails are above average and half of his emails are below average. But what he did is he fell in love with shipping out his work. Can you fall in love with doing the behavior? Not needing it to be perfect, knowing though that it will move the needle. Knowing not needing one post to make $1 million, knowing that a post a day is going to change things because it's inevitable if you just don't go away that things happen, right? So fall in love with being the person that ships out your work into the world. For Maddie, that means shipping herself out into the world. It means her going out of her house. But you've got to ship out the work. Become a person of action. Okay, so how do we become all in? Being all in has, again, nothing to do with how much time you're spending on something. I am all in on my marriage. Alan has a world-class marriage. Alan is a world-class server at Disney World. Alan is a world-class networker. Alan is world-class at a bunch of other things, I'm sure. And no one would be like, I don't know, you're just not all in. You're just everywhere. You just do so many things I can't keep straight. No, you're all in. But you've got to figure out, what does that look like to be in alignment if it were to be, I'm all in. And here's the secret. Then you figure out your time management, and then you set your intention to be wherever you are. And that might seem so simple, but as the secret to success. So it's time management plus being wherever you are. So if I am putting my parenting hat on, and my son comes down from his teenage room and makes an appearance, I'm going to be intentional that my eyes light up and I say, hi, honey, how are you? How was your day? I'm all in. Maybe we didn't spend a lot of time together, but I'm all in. Maybe I see my best friend once every 2 months, but when we get together, we're all in. You see? I don't spend all my time with Garth, and we have a world-class marriage. I don't spend all my time in one business, and I am a world-class therapist. Yes, I could probably make more if I did all just, maybe, I don't know. I don't even know. That's not interesting to me. What's interesting is, depending on what I want in my life, figuring out what that looks like to be in alignment for it, and then being present for it. Right? So I really want you to think of your 3 buckets, because that means you're all in. You could do your 3 buckets for all these different roles you wear, For spirituality, what would that look like? What moves the needle the most on my spirituality? For you, it might be different than me. What moves the needle the most on my health and wellness? For yourself, what moves the needle the most on your friendships? What moves the needle the most on your intimate relationships? And then do that. And then you're all in, and you can have it all. I would love to hear your thoughts, open it up for questions, open it up for integration, implementation, all the things. Does anyone want to share? This is where we do that.
I would.
Thanks, Alan.
I'd like to echo a couple of things you said that I've really adopted over the last several months.
Oh.
One is to be present, whichever hat you're wearing, be there. Put everything else away. The other thing is to be addicted to the process and not the results. So if you get addicted to the process and don't worry about the results, I believe they'll take care of themselves.
Could you give us an example of how that's actually looked in your life?
Sure, absolutely. Just with prospecting and in sales, it's so easy to get defeated when somebody you think would be really a perfect client or perfect business partner that says no. That can be really defeating. But if you just keep next, get addicted to the process, if they want to partner with you, they do. And if they don't, that's okay. It's not their time, but I'm going to succeed.
So the being addicted to the process for me, and I want to hear about for you, Alan, when I get the no's, I'm actually not always excited I got the no, but I'm excited about, I did my job. I just talked to 88 people in the month of December. I am crushing it,
Right.
That's literally what it looks like. Because I think we hear that all the time. We're like, just get through all the no's. And you're like, that sounds terrible. But being addicted to the process means you noticing Yeah, I did my 5 for the day. I am a woman of integrity, right?
And you've done, yes, you've honored your commitment to yourself.
That's what
If
it
you
means, you guys, to be addicted to the process and not the outcome. And once you let the outcome go, the outcome will come. It's just the law of the universe. That's how it works because it's inevitable.
Some people have thick skin and that doesn't bother them at all. In the past, that has. So I've developed a little bit of apathy and it's made my life a lot nicer.
Okay, everyone put on the hat of apathy. Oh no, total apathy. I agree. I don't care. I care for about people, but I do not care if you say yes or no. I don't. And my life has changed since giving that up. It's so
Sure.
fun because I don't care. I'm just excited if someone says yes, and okay, I'm like proud of myself if someone says no.
Right.
Okay, that's amazing. Great example. Thank you, Alan. Um, what was the first thing you said?
Be present.
Oh,
Be present.
how in real time, real example, how has
Hmm.
that changed you? Or what does that look
Um,
like?
it calms your mind. Uh, guys can only handle one box at a time, as you're well aware of. So if I'm working and one of my daughter comes in, I have to put down my work box, forget
Mm,
about it for a few minutes, and totally focus on her.
love
And
it.
when that's over, I put down my daughter box, I pick up my work box, and I'm focused there. That way, I don't have 5 boxes in the air and drop them all.
So everyone, it's a myth that we can hold more than one box. We actually can't. We can only hold one box at a time. Everyone's just like Alan said. Um, there's this part of the brain that is attention, and research has shown it's like a flashlight. You can literally only have one flashlight on at a time. So multitasking is a total lie, and we need not do it. Okay,
If you chase all the rabbits, you don't catch any of them.
right. But none of us are great at multitasking. So thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything they want to share?
The slight edge as a concept reminds me of the 80-20 rule, which talks about how 80% of our effects come from 20% of causes. So it really um, reinvigorated me around being intentional with what those three buckets are and continuously checking in with my results. Like it
Mm,
takes time to have data, but making sure that I am looking backwards to say, am I converting? Do I need to tighten up my language? Do I need to look through a different lens at this? Um, and it's so interesting when our business is people to try to find what that measurable looks like.
hmm
What are your thoughts around that?
My thoughts are do what gets you in your highest vibration,
Hmm.
because that's probably your highest giftedness as well. And so you're going to probably have to look at what are the soft skills. Is it the one-on-ones? Is it gosh, whenever I land a consult call, 80% turn into one,
Hmm.
like I bet that is the thing. And so your bucket is asking for consults then. Do
There
you know
we
what I
go.
mean? Um,
Yes.
and so I also love the idea of I'm going to run the play and then I'm going to evaluate the play. And maybe that's a 3-month run or a 6-month run. But until then, we're not evaluating whether this is working or not. So
Hmm.
6 months comes and you say, am I running? How's this play running? You're like, not what I thought. Smart people put the bucket down and choose a new bucket.
Yes.
Um, I think too, Maddie, for you, thinking of, and for all of us, but where do you get insta credibility? Where do we all get insta credibility? speakers get Insta credibility better than anything. Speaking is what skyrocketed me. Now, not everyone's going to be a speaker, but you being on the boards of things, or you being in front of the room introducing at every meeting consistently, you have
Mhm.
Insta credibility.
I
And so,
appreciate that. I've
yeah,
done 2 speaking events so far. I have one this Wednesday and 2 keyed up for January. You and I are right here,
I
Erin.
know, I know. And whether or not you're speaking, like I'm saying, if you are the one with the microphone, though, if you are the
Okay.
organizer, if you are always the one opening the meeting, that people attribute that you are the meeting. You are the one that's making it happen. And if you stick around long enough with those same people, they become top of mind. So I also love the idea of repetition. So it's not, I'm going to find people at yoga class to sell my health and wellness stuff to. No, I'm going to go to the same yoga class for 6 months, and I'm going to talk to the people in the class. And eventually I'm going to make 4 friends. That is, I mean, someone just ordered from me last night. Garth saw it. I mean, she hasn't ordered from me forever, for like 7 years. And she's like, okay, I want to order. Well, that's because of the consistent, all the law of the slight edge.
Okay, I am not part of Make Wellness, but I do have an idea around prospecting. For people who are in cities who have Class Pass, it's $60 a month. You get like a certain amount of credits that you can use on different fitness classes. So, like, scale it a little. If you have Class Pass and it's $60 and you can attend, 3 or 4 fitness classes a month that way, then you get like you just have a bigger base in terms of getting other people in your class. But then what does it also look like to take that step to talk to who works there? Like, I don't know. My brain is just,
It's so true, Maddie. At the beginning of my business, one of the things that moved the needle the most was me working out and being at the gym
mhm.
and meeting people that worked out. It's not anymore necessarily, but I meet a guy at the gym. He just bought the peptides, and Maddie's getting on the peptides. Everyone, yes.
Yes,
Don't
I
worry.
am.
Don't you worry about Maddie. She's getting on the peptides. But it's like, and I haven't pitched her the peptides. She just trusts me for whatever reasons, and I'm consistently talking about it. People know this is what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah, I brought it up after
I
our
know.
meeting. I said, "Hey, yeah, we'll do that soon."
It's like she knows we're doing it. She's our financial planner. She knows I'm in Make Wellness. I anyways. Um
But it
awesome.
builds a brand for you. And I think that there's so much
Yeah.
power in that consistency of
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah,
I
and that
mean,
doesn't
guys,
happen
for
overnight.
marketing, I did Christmas pictures with my cat. We did professional Christmas pictures, and there's been so much engagement around that photo shoot. And it's organic. It's what makes me happy. It's silly, it's sweet, it's
Yep.
sincere. So when you think about how you're getting creative with prospecting, it's exactly what Erin's saying, like what feels right.
Hmm.
Where are
Do
you aligned?
Oh, so good. Helpful, Maddie? Good?
Oh my gosh, every week is. Every week
Oh,
is. And thank you for letting me speak and
of
process. I'm an
course.
external processor.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. That's what that we're doing. I love it. Anyone else want to share an aha or ask a question about their buckets, or you feeling good? Okay. Um, Next week we have a really special topic. We're going to talk about money mindset and how it's related to your worthiness on the planet. Okay? And we're actually going to disassociate your worth from your wallet. And by doing so, you're going to make a lot of money. Okay? It's just how it works. So we're going to talk all about money mindset. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. And we're all going to be rich and happy. It's going to be wonderful. Okay. Again, if you want to share, if this was valuable, you can win one of my books. Love to. You just tag me in any of your posts. You are so welcome. Thank you for coming. We've got 3 more times together in Mind Your Own Business. My hat is off to you all. Love you. Goodbye, everybody. See you next time.
Oh, honey, before we go, let's send them. I'm going to drop the link in the chat for where you can go and get past trainings.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So, oh, hold on. At work, it always does this stupid security thing. Give me 1 second here.
Oh, sure.
I have to do my copy and paste different.
Okay.
When I use my laptop, there we go. It always wants to send this security
You're
thing. There we
welcome,
go.
Monique.
There's the link to go and get past trainings.
I hope you guys have a beautiful week. And that's the link for the recordings on my YouTube channel. All right. Alan, let's go somewhere tropical. Let's do that. I want to be on that beach. Marilyn, thank you for coming. Have a good week. Bye, Linda.
I think that's Maryland. Is that a stuffed moose over your shoulder?
Oh my gosh.
You're muted, Marilyn.
Oh my
But am I
gosh.
seeing that right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a moose.
I love
Yeah,
it.
that's a moose.
Hold on just 1 second.
Oh, and we got
Like-
two rabbits.
Moose. Oh, rabbits. Oh, cute.
I do wildlife rehab mostly, but I also do domestic. And these guys were bottle babies when they were born.
Oh, my.
They were almost froze.
What are their names?
So I keep them right here with me because they use a litter box.
What are their names?
Millie and Izzy.
Millie
Nice.
and Izzy?
Nice.
We started to call this one. She reminded me of a gremlin when we were calling her Grimmy, and then I thought change her name, but they get their names changed as they get their little personalities. So,
Oh.
but when she was little, she looked just like a gremlin. Her ears popped down.
Oh
And
my gosh. Well, Linda, you are the queen of the slight edge. I see you. You are consistent, consistent, consistent. Yeah. All right. Bye, you guys. Have a good week.
have a good week.
Bye.